Hello, everyone, and welcome to a quarterfinal match of the Rotary Challenge. We've had Caleb do some fine jobs in the earlier matches, and now we're getting close to crunch time. The quarterfinal gets you to the semifinal, which gets you to the final. So that's where everyone wants to be. We have a battle of Bell County going on here with Belton and Harker Heights. Looking sharp here, Belton. Like that. Looking sharp over here as well. So it looks like we're going to be seeing some pretty interesting times going on here with What Do We Know? We have 3 rounds. The round 1 has points associated with each of the questions. Answer, buzz in, get right. Then we have a lightning round. Then we go back and do a 3rd round, just like the first round. So are we ready to get into this?
I was born ready.
Born ready. That's what we like to hear. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Round 1 begins right now. For 5 points, this ideology was pioneered by the author of Reflections on the Revolutions in France, Edmund Burke. What ideology's conscience titles a 1960 book by Barry Goldwater and is contrasted with liberalism?
Libertarianism?
No.
Conservatism?
Conservatism, that's correct. For 5 points, this brother of Chrysor was born from the slaying of Medusa. Name this creature who was stung by a gadfly while Bellerophon attempted to reach Mount Olympus, a winged horse from Greek mythology.
Pegasus?
Pegasus. For 5 points, a work of this type was completed by Franz Schuschmeier after its composer died while only 8 bars into its Lacrimosa movement. What type of composition was...
An aria?
No. What composition was Mozart's last work, A Mass for the Dead?
Yeah.
Symphony?
No, Requiems. For 5 points, what geographical feature populated by the native Berber people lies north of the Shala region and is in the largest hot desert on Earth?
The Sahara.
The Sahara. This one's also 5 points. The process may utilize the enzyme P carboxylase in a variant of it called CAM, but otherwise uses the enzyme rubisco during the Calvin cycle. Through what process do plants convert light into...
Photosynthesis.
Correct. For 10 points, a soccer player from this country scored the Hand of God goal against England at the 1986 World Cup. What home country of Diego Maradona won the 2022 World Cup with Captain Lionel Messi?
Brazil?
No.
Argentina.
Argentina is correct. For 5 points, in October 2024, military deserters in one of these events for the group Okean LZ were searched for by the Ukrainian draft officers. ISIS claimed the responsibility for an attack from a venue in Moscow used for what musical events performed by U2 in the Vegas Sphere?
Baby. A concert?
Concert's correct. This is for 5 points. Gears are rotating type of these entities whose other types include one name for Humboldt and the Gulf Stream. Name these flows of water in the ocean.
Currents.
Currents is right. Also a 5 point. This vegetable's French name is the origin of the word zydeco. A common casserole served at Thanksgiving includes what long, thin green vegetable?
Cucumber?
No.
Asparagus?
Final answer?
Asparagus?
No. Green bean. For 10 points, in what state did a pastor at the Ebenezer Baptist Church defeat Kelly Loeffner in the 2021 special election and Herschel Walker in the 2022 runoff election?
Kentucky?
No, Georgia. Where would you go to enjoy kabuki theater in its original setting?
Japan?
Japan. What country is bordered on the west by Germany and on the east by Ukraine and Belarus?
Poland.
Mm-hmm. To reduce spoilage, meat can be irradiated with what? Irradiated with what?
Salt?
No.
Radiation.
May you repeat the question?
To reduce spoilage, meat can be irradiated with what?
Salt.
Smoke.
No. Ultraviolet rays. The units in which scientists use measure the wavelength of the light are named for a 19th century physicist.
Hertz.
No. What are these units?
May you repeat the question?
The units in which scientists usually measure the wavelength of light are named for a 19th century physicist. What are these units? Angstrom units. The group of 92 historical buildings and landmarks includes Thomas Edison's laboratory, was collected and restored by Henry Ford. What is the name of this site, which is located in Dearborn, Michigan?
The Ford headquarters?
Huh?
The Ford
No.
headquarters?
It's Greenfield Village. The most consecutive shutout innings in baseball was achieved in 1988 by what pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers? Maybe a little before your time. Oral Hershiser. What's the first number that is the sum of all its divisors except itself? Six. They are called perfect numbers. What are the membranes called that cover the brain and spinal cord on a vertebrate?
Vacuoles?
No.
Can you repeat the question?
What are the membranes called that cover the brain and spinal cord on a vertebrate? That is meninges. All right. Let's get a score here.
I've got Harker Heights with 35, Belton with 20.
All right, 35-20. We have a close match going on here in our first round. So let's keep it going. What familiar phrase is Latin for "and the rest"?
At all?
No.
Etc.
That's right, etc. In French, it refers to tact and the ability to say and do the right thing. What's the phrase?
Vive la vida?
No.
May you repeat the question?
In French, it refers to tact, the ability to say and do the right thing. What's the phrase? Savoir faire. What is the Germans' response to a Danke schön?
Bitteschön.
Yep. Translate Cosa Nostra into English.
New thing? New thing?
You can't. Said new thing.
All things? All things?
No, our thing. Close. You were both really close. Which of the following deities was not Egyptian? Anubis, Osiris, Dagon, or Horus?
Dagon?
Uh-huh. To the famous cluster of the 18th century enlightened despots, who was Russia's contribution?
Frederick the Great?
Huh?
Frederick the Great?
No. Have an answer? That would be Catherine the Great. The simplest gem in chemical composition is what?
Diamond?
Diamond is correct. Which future president came in third during the 1956 Democratic presidential nomination?
May you repeat the question?
Which future president came in third during the 1956 Democratic presidential nomination?
Richard Nixon?
No. Huh? You were starting to answer before.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon Johnson is correct. They answered right before the buzzer. How do you spell sieve?
Sieve.
Yes. What weasel has webbed feet?
Otter.
Otter is correct. And I think we have time for one more. This is a math question. So get your pencils ready. Solve for x and y. 2x plus 7 equals 11. 3x minus y equals 0. We need the answer for x and y.
X is 2. Oh, sorry. X is 2, y equals 6.
Correct. And that is the end of round one. And I think we got a pretty close match here. A lot of good answers going on. Judges, what's our score?
Harker Heights 75, Belton 50.
75 to 50. And of course, the lightning round in round 2, this is where you can really add up the points. And we'll have that right after this.
At Daniel Stark, we work hard. If you're a true Texan, working hard comes with the territory.
Here you go, Danny.
True Texan right here.
We train hard. Winning, it doesn't come easy. You have to practice, you have to commit.
And we lawyer hard. Good thing, too. You need a law firm that gets to know your unique story and what it takes to help you get your life back to normal. Daniel Stark, we lawyer hard.
We have a close match going on right now between Belton and Harker Heights. Let's once again inform the folks, just in case they're tuning in, what the score is.
Harker Heights 70, Belton 50.
70 to 50. So that means Harker Heights has a 75 to 50. So who has the least amount of points? Belton has the least amount of points. That means you'll be going first in the lightning round. And I have 3 categories that you can choose from. It's plate tectonics, starts with the letter C, or the oboe.
Plate tectonics.
Plate tectonics. All right. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. You got a minute to answer as many as you can. If you get through, say pass. What they don't answer, or what they don't answer correctly, you get to try to steal. All right? So everyone needs to listen here. Plate tectonics, a minute on the clock. And here we go. Mountain range containing Everest that has created from the collision of the Indian and Eurasian plates.
Himalayas.
Correct. Geologic layer that makes up tectonic plates along the mantle below it.
Lithosphere?
No. Largest tectonic plate, which is named for an ocean surrounded by the Ring of Fire.
A Pacific plate.
Correct. Region whose namesake spreading occurs in divergent boundaries.
Pass.
Process whose namesake zone sees parts of one tectonic plate go beneath the other tectonic plate.
Subsiding?
Subsiding. Okay.
Sublimation.
Part of the mantle below the lithosphere that tectonic plates float on.
The mantle?
No. Type of tectonic boundary in which 2 plates horizontally slide past each other.
Transition?
No. German geologist whose theory of continental drift provided much of the basis of plate tectonics. Okay, we did not get that. So you got 2 out of the 7. So that means 5 need to be answered here. We'll go over to Harker Heights for this. Are you all ready to go? Geologic layer that makes up tectonic plates along with the mantle below it.
Crust.
Crust is right. Region whose namesake spreading occurs at divergent boundaries.
The Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Seafloor. Process whose namesake zone sees parts of one tectonic plate go beneath those of another tectonic plate.
Subduction.
Correct. Part of the mantle below the lithosphere that tectonic plates float on.
Can you repeat it?
Part of the mantle below the lithosphere that tectonic plates float on.
Outer core? Outer core?
No. Asthenosphere. Type of tectonic boundary in which 2 plates horizontally slide past each other.
Fault.
Those are transform. All right. So let's get the new score before we get to the next one.
Harker Heights 95, Belton 70.
95-70. We closed in here. All right. Heights, do you want C or the oboe? Starts with the letter C or the oboe?
Starts with the letter C.
Starts with the letter C. Man, we just cannot get that oboe one done. All right. Starts with the letter C. Minute on the clock. Let's go. Asian country where a Great Wall begins in the Hebei province. China. Animal that represents the constellation Cancer.
Crab.
First U.S. president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms.
Cleveland.
Co-star of Girl Meets World who sings Nonsense and Espresso.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Author of Gregor the Outlander and the Hunger Games.
Collins.
Can you be more specific?
Suzanne Collins.
Yes. Author of the nonsense poems The Hunting of the Snark and Jabberwocky.
C.S. Lewis.
No.
No.
Asian country where the Khmer Rouge utilized killing fields to murder civilians.
Cambodia.
Voltaire novel in which Dr. Pangloss states this is the best of all possible worlds?
Pass.
Composer of experiment music, such as mostly 4 minutes, 33 seconds. All right, Heights, you got, out of the 8, you answered 6, and now we have 2 that are left over. This starts with the letter C. Belton, here we go. Author of the nonsense poems, The Hunting of the Snark and Jabberwocky?
Cage?
No, that's be Lewis Carroll. And Voltaire novel in which Dr. Pangloss states this is the best of all possible worlds.
Is that one Cage?
No.
John Cage
Ken
was the
died.
music.
All right. So that is the end of our lightning round here. What's the score?
Harker Heights 155, Belton 70.
55 to 70. Folks, this is definitely a very close contest. And of course, the third round will decide it all to see who goes to the semifinals, and we'll have that after this.
The deals are real at Colleen Auto. We have just the Ford you're looking for. Trucks, SUVs, or something in between. Come check out our amazing, newly built and open Colleen Hyundai store. Find a sleek Volkswagen at Colleen Volkswagen. We have over 300 used to choose at Colleen Certified, including many options under 20 grand. Ford, Hyundai, Volkswagen, or used, the deals are real at Colleen Auto. ColeenAuto.com.
We're on to round 3 in this quarterfinal match between Belton and Harker Heights. Let's associate people with the score once again.
Harker Heights 155, Belton 70.
155 to 70, but we still have some catching up to do, but that can be done in this round. Before we do that, let's talk to our teams here and start off with Harker Heights. And can y'all introduce yourself and why you like to do something like this?
Well, I just do it because I have nothing better to do, and this is really fun.
It's really fun. That's a great reason to do it.
My name's Layla, and I did it because they wanted me to.
Peer pressure.
Yes, it's the best kind of pressure. My name's John, and I do this because it's a fun competition, and it's something to do.
My name is Haley, and I do this because it's a fun competition, and I've been doing it for like a few years now, so I stopped.
Yeah,
All right.
it's tradition.
And now we have Belton, sharp-looking team over here of gentlemen. Why do y'all like to do this, and state your names as well?
All right. I'm Gavin, and I just do this because it's fun, really, mainly.
Yeah. I'm Braden, and I do it because I love my team.
Yeah, my name's Chance. I do it just to give me something extra to do, just to feel the
To use
time.
that brain of yours.
Yeah.
Yes, got to use the brain.
My name's Chase, and I think it's fun to hang out with friends before going off to college. So, and it's cool things to learn.
And it'll make college easier for you. Random knowledge is always good, especially on trivia nights. All right, so have a little catching up to do. It can be done in this round, and we will be going through the points here, and we are going to start round 3 right now. For 5 points, salam means peace in Arabic. What is the equivalent word in Hebrew?
Shalom.
Shalom is correct. This ancient wonder guided ships for 1,000 years before it was toppled by an earthquake.
Lighthouse of Alexandria.
That is correct, and that was for 10 points. For 15 points, a chronic unjustified feeling of apprehension along with preoccupation with past errors, future calamities, and threats of one defensive shield are symptoms of what type of neurosis?
Concussion.
Yes. Huh?
Concussion.
No. Harker Heights?
Anxious?
Can you be more specific?
Anxiety.
Anxiety is correct. For 5 points, the digestive glands in the mouth region are called what? Yes,
Salivary
Belton.
glands?
Correct. For 10 points, Jackie Robinson was the first black to play Major League Baseball on a regular basis. In what major sport was Chuck Cooper the first black to play in major professional leagues?
Tennis.
Yes. Huh?
Tennis.
No.
Track.
It would be basketball. For 20 points, big one. If you alphabetize the 25 most populous U.S. cities, the first and last are less than an hour's drive apart. Name them.
Austin and Houston.
No. And we had the buzzer. So that would be Baltimore and Washington. All right, for 15 points, what was the first hard liquor to be distilled? Y'all should know this.
Beer.
No.
Hard.
Whiskey?
No, it's rum. It's rum. Yes, parents, they're not doing anything like that. All right, for 5 points each, identify these items associated with things you sit on. For 5 points each, things you sit on. Where would you find a judge or a third string player?
Chair.
No.
Bench.
Bench is correct for Heights. The head of a committee.
Chair.
Harker? Huh?
Chair.
Chair is correct. The capital of a country or county.
Seat.
A seat is correct. Jews built their first temple, Christians mark the resurrection, and Muslims commiserate Muhammad's ascension into heaven. In what city, which is the great importance of all three?
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem is correct there for Belton. How many addresses should there be on the envelope when you mail a letter?
2.
Correct. That's for 5 points. For 15 points, tungsten was the highest melting point among the chemical elements. What metal has the lowest melt?
Mercury.
Mercury is correct there for Heights. For 15 points, the emission of light is called incandescence. How do you spell incandescence?
INCANDENSES.
No, just off.
INCANDESCENCE.
Correct for Harker Heights there. That was worth 15 points. Another 15-pointer. The organ lies between the duodenum and the esophagus.
Tonsil?
No.
Can you repeat this?
Adenoids.
No, it would be stomach. What was made of acacia wood, covered with gold, and discovered by the...
The tabernacle?
No. And discovered by the fictional Indiana Jones.
The Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant is correct. Let's get a quick score check here.
Harker Heights 230, Belton 90.
230 to 90. And we have a few minutes to go, so let's keep going. For 10 points, did the first Russian traders go to Alaska in the search of fish, furs, Eskimo slaves, or the Northeast Passage?
Northeast Passage.
No.
Furs.
Furs is correct for Harker Heights. How do you spell beneficial?
BENEFICIAL.
Correct. What wiry toy can get downstairs by itself?
Slinky.
A slinky is correct there for Belton. What is the general name given to goods and services sold abroad? Heights?
Trade?
No.
Exports?
Yes. For 5 points, what is the count made by the referee in wrestling to determine a fall? Belton?
10.
10? No.
Can you repeat the question?
What is the count made by the referee in wrestling to determine a fall?
3.
3. Can you be more specific?
3 seconds.
3 count. For 20 points, the apparent diameter of the moon is the same as the apparent diameter of what other heavenly body?
The sun.
Correct. That's how we get eclipses. And 15 points. Which of these words is not a synonym of the other 4? Wickedness, inequity, sin, transgression, guilt.
Guilt.
Guilt is correct. So that's for Harker Heights. 20 points. The other vertebrates which outnumber the bird species, the only vertebrates which outnumber the bird species are what? Yes, Belton.
Fish.
Fish are correct. Let's get a quick score check.
290 for Harker Heights, 125 for Belton.
290. All right, so we have 2 minutes left. Let's get to this. 10 points. The island of Sicily is perhaps best known as the home of what secret crime organization?
The Mafia.
That's correct, Belton. Mafia. For 5 points, who was the prettier and younger stepsister of Anastasia and Drusilla?
Cinderella.
Correct. For 10 points, documents that give a citizen permission to travel in a foreign country.
Passport.
Correct for Belton. For 15 points, on computer systems with many users, one is often asked to identify him.
Administrator.
No. On computer systems with many users, one is often asked to identify himself with this unique identification before being allowed to use the system.
PIN.
No.
PIN number?
It's password. Complete Thomas Halliburton's line for Sam Slick, jack of all trades and
Master of none.
master of none's correct for Belton. 5 points. Which color schoolhouse became symbolic of education in the...
Red.
Red is correct for Heights. What is the capital of Mississippi?
Jackson.
Correct. Which virtue do you need when the fish aren't biting?
Patience.
You need patience, that's right. And for 10 points, after you use it, you should rinse it in hot water, oil it, and release the drag tension. What am I talking about?
Can you repeat the question?
After you use it, you should rinse it in hot water, oil it, and release the drag tension. What am I talking about?
Rope.
No.
Grease.
The answer would be reel. Reel is the answer there. And we have 20 seconds, so probably the final question here for 15 points. A feathered jig is also called what?
A fly.
No.
A lure?
Correct. A lure is correct. That is the end of our game. Who's going on, judges?
Harker Heights 310, Belton 170.
310 to 170, so Harker Heights will be moving on to our semifinal match. Belton, you did a great job. Glad you guys are here again. And we will have more to come on Saturday nights right here on 25 ABC, and we're going to be having another quarterfinal match come up. Then we'll do semifinals, and then it's on to the finals. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Rotary Challenge. If you've lived in Central Texas for a while, you know what the red tie means. If you're new to the area, it means the potential for severe weather here across the area, and we're going to continue to track that from beginning to end as storms roll across the spring. We do have a tornado watch that's in effect right now.
Start your day with Good Morning Texas every weekday morning starting at 5 a.m.